Welcome to RPG Renegades, and we are playing the great game City of Mist. We're now on episode 8, where we're in a real cliffhanger. Last episode, the party went to the Ambrosia, the coolest nightclub in the city at the moment, where Sam faced danger of falling in love, and he failed drastically. So he is now smitten with Evangeline for 2. Whether that comes into play or not, we'll find out later on. So just don't say anything bad about that singer Evangeline, because, you know, Sam won't be too chuffed about it. At the moment, still, while we're talking about stuff like that, on our tracking cards, we have Vinzer. Through the experiences we've had over the previous games, Vinzer is feeling hunted because of these creatures that maneuver themselves through the darkness. It's the first time he's encountered them, and he's unsure where they come from or what kind of threat they are to him personally. He's had to kind of get away from them a couple of times. And on the positive note, Raj has accumulated some 2 juice when he used the mask, so that's plus 2 juice, which means he can use that to a dice roll regarding things to do with the mask. And he also, when he did some kind of snooping around the city as a taxi driver, he got 3 points in looking into the underworld, so that's Raj's investigation, so that's 3. So that's some bonuses, just to let you know. Anyway, let's set the scene. At the Ambrose, Sam fell in love as the girl sang her song. Vinzer went for a walk and noticed the cop. His name is Lawrence Keaton, or the investigator, with 2 colleagues, a young guy with glasses and messed up hair, and a young Hispanic, athletic-looking Hispanic girl. So this seems to be 3 of them, and they were obviously on the lookout for somebody. Lawrence shared information with Raj, went over and spoke to Raj, and shared some information about this person they were looking for called Leroy. The 2 younger colleagues, their names are Dan and Carla, of the investigator. They were out looking about, didn't spot him. However, Vinzer did, and he attempted a manoeuvre. What was he attempted to do, Vinzer? Just describe again what you were attempting to do and what actually happened.
When things started getting in motion?
Yeah.
So the guy I was kind of trying to keep tabs on, get some more information. He started driving off, and I tried to make the attempt to slip through the shadows and land into his car by using my Shadow Walker tags, and didn't exactly work out in my favor. So I got in his car, but I landed in his trunk.
So meanwhile, on the street, Raj and the rest of them, including their 2 friends in tow from the auction house, Charles and Greg, who have had too much to drink, Raj felt one of his strange, what's the word again? That's your thing, Raj?
Synchronicity.
He felt a strange synchronicity, thanks. And decided to follow this car, not knowing that Vinzer is in the trunk. The cars carry on, go up towards the coast of the city, up in the hills where there's some apartments. And at the moment, Vinzer's in the trunk. The guy has parked the car at a kind of lovely little condo or apartment right in the top of the hill. Raj, Sam, and their 2 passengers have passed by because they don't want to make it obvious that they're following the guy. So, Vinzer, you've been in the pitch dark for probably the best part of 25 minutes, something like that. kind of getting a little bit rattled about. You hear the door open and thunk as it's closed, the driver door. You hear crunch, 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 crunch. Sounds like it's the sound of a large boot on the gravel, as the driver walks round, and then it stops just very close to where you are in the pitch dark there. You then hear a key getting pushed into the lock, and it turns. I would say you've probably got about 6 seconds before the trunk lid opens. What do you want to do?
So I was thinking, because this is something that has not come up yet, and I don't know if any sort of flashback is needed for like context or anything, but I was thinking about maybe trying to look for the opportunity. So once the trunk goes to open, I would like to basically conjure or call on my shadow hound and have it maybe kind of attack or lunge at the person, not in a like vicious manner or anything like that, but enough to try and maybe knock him down or something, to give me a moment to try and get out of the trunk and make a break for it.
That's interesting. So I'm guessing, right, okay, so the problem you have is this: you have absolutely zero concept of your surroundings, okay? Apart from,
that somebody's coming.
You know that you've been going up a steep incline, because there was kind of winding, you were actually kind of getting almost rolled about, and you had to support yourself so you didn't give it away that you were in the trunk. So you've gone up some steep or bending roads, but apart from that, you have zero idea what's outside. Certainly, there's plenty of shadow inside, if you want to conjure the hound. I don't know. You tell me what you want to do, and how would you consider this move as then, if you're really attempting to push him away or shock him, surprise him, or
and like to push him away enough that like I'm feeling like, since I'm in the trunk being trapped, whatever this person's intention is, I mean, I'm the one stalking him. Why would I be in his trunk, And he doesn't necessarily look like a good guy, in my opinion. So my concern is I'm stuck in this trunk. As soon as he opens it, he could do something to attack me, knock me out, something like that.
Sure.
So I would try and use the shadow hound to be able to give him basically a good push, or to tackle him, like, and keep him down on the ground for a bit, so that way I could jump out of the trunk and get a little bit of distance, so that way I can go from there. So I would think that, since I feel trapped right now, and my goal is to try and put myself in a better position, is to maybe change the game.
Okay.
Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, sounds okay. Yeah. The other thing I was going to ask there, as you're describing it, is, are you trying to mask the fact that you're in the trunk, or is it more you're concentrating on creating a shadow beast to lunge out?
It's more so that I don't really think that I'd be subtle enough to get away from that.
That's fair enough.
So I think I just want to get as big of a, just even a shock reaction, so maybe the guy doesn't even know what the hell's going on, and in his stupor it might give me the advantage to get away.
Now, your shadow creatures can actually harm, right? They can actually attack, is that right?
They can, yeah.
Yeah, so is a hound going to bite at him and chew at him, or is it more this kind of physical?
I feel like conjuring him out of there, and since I don't know the full details of him yet, it's not going to be anything like biting or anything like that, but more just tackle, like an impact, just to knock him back down and off his feet.
Okay, what do you want to tag? Is that one thing that happens? Tell me, you have a look at your tags just now and kind of count up what you want to do. There is one issue that as that trunk door opens up, you're suddenly blasted by the fact that there's one of these, movement sensor-based floodlights in his driveway. So it's quite a bright light, in terms of what you can see. But carry on and tell me what you want to tag.
So I'll go with Shadowhound. I'll go with Shadow Puppetry. I do have a weakness there for without shadows, I'm powerless. So I don't know if that would go into effect if I have limited shadows because of the floodlight.
No, I think it's okay. I think it's more it's disorientating. As that when the trunk opens like that, immediately the light's streaming in. Because it's pitch dark in here, and as it opens, then obviously you're getting that more in your face. But by that time, you've already started your move. So go ahead and give us a roll. See what happens.
So with the 2 tags, it brings it to a 9.
Nice. So that's 2 tags. So that's your power or juice. So you actually get 2 points of juice. So that means that at the moment you've got 2 points that you can use on a follow-up move. Okay. Or something that you're maybe doing within the sphere of what you're doing just now. So you've got 2 juice, and you can create the story tag. So you describe what happens. I think the first thing that strikes you is the trunk opens, you've got all this light streaming in, but this guy's shadow's right in front of you because you can't see him because of the light that's streaming in behind him. So literally you're looking at a tall shadow, and the trunk opens and opens and opens, and this guy is tall. He's definitely over 6 foot, So it's like never ended with this guy, and immediately you see him kind of shift backwards before even the attack that you've launched because he's shot, and he mutters or mumbles something. So tell us what happens. You can create a story tag, you can burn a power tag or a story tag, like a negative one, or you can give or reduce status. You got a 9, did you say? Yeah. So I'm guessing you want to just create the situation, create the story of what's happening. Would that be right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us how this affects him and what happens.
So like as I hear the clicking from the lock, and it turns as soon as it's like starting to pop open. Vinzer calls his Shadowhound Cleo, and he just kind of says, like, quietly, like under his breath, he says, "All right, Cleo, need your help, bud." And in the shadow before the trunk opens up, like another pair of like little red eyes like flick open, like right next to him. And as the trunk is opening and the light's starting to shine, you can almost see like the shape take place of this, similar to the way Vinzer looks to the awakened people, where he's just a black silhouette. The Hound is similar, the same way, and it looks like a very, almost like jagged wolf, like very sharp, like edgy, like contour to it, and it kind of lets out a low growl. It's not like super loud, but it's kind of like echoes like in the back of your head almost, it feels like. And as soon as the trunk opens up a bit more, it just bolts out. And like if you ever seen the dog like try and like jump up a wall and around, and it kind of like does that one thing when it like pushes itself off of the person, it jumps out and does the same thing to this wall of a guy, and it just hits him like right in the chest, and it goes to like push him back as hard as it can.
So how does that affect the guy then? Because you can just roll with the story and see, does he go over? Does he fall over? Does he stumble back? How do you?
I would say if he stumbled back, since he's on gravel, maybe he loses his footing a bit.
Yeah.
And at the very least, I see him sliding back and at least falling on his ass. Like it's either him in a sitting position or just straight back, not knowing exactly what happened. But I don't know how big this guy is. He might hit the ground hard enough that it kind of, shocks him for a second. But
he's about 6'2" or 6'3", so he stumbles back and loses his footing. I guess you kind of pop up and kind of watch what's happening as obviously your dog's still around, I'm guessing. Does your dog stay present then until you kind of send it away? Is that how it works?
Yeah, or I would, because I hadn't really thought about how light would affect it. I mean, I believe it would be there temporarily, and maybe it takes more from me to be able to keep it manifested. Yeah. And so maybe when I call on it, it's just like moments of action, and maybe he's more with me easier in the shadows, but out in the light, especially with like a big storm light, like you were saying too, probably can't keep him around for too long. Okay, so maybe the hound does the maneuver, and as it kind of bounds across, because of the floodlight, it's actually creating a lot of shadow. There's shadows around the edge of the hole, but when it's kind of almost running across the light, it's kind of fading out, and it's kind of almost attaching itself to the shadows. I don't know, if you want to do something with that later, that's fine. Anyway, the guy kind of slips a little bit and loses his footing, and he doesn't quite land on his back, but like one of his legs goes away from him. And actually, you can see where you are. It's like a gravel driveway right on the edge of a steep incline, down the way there to the apartments and that below, because this is right on the top of the ridge, this apartment. And so there is a driveway. It's quite a wide driveway leading to a kind of walkway up to the house at the side, where the floodlight is. So anyway, he's backing off. One of his legs in the gravel slides away, almost kind of buckles under him. So he kind of goes down, like holds support himself with his hands behind his back, like down like that. And one of his legs is just off to the side. So he's kind of trying to pull himself together. And you're like, what? He's just, whatever. What the hell is that? And stuff. And you don't even think, he's so overwhelmed with what's just happened. He's like not particularly either thinking right now in these moments who you are or what he just saw in the trunk. He's trying to just pull himself together. Let's just cut for a moment over to the taxi. Guys, what were you thinking of doing? What was your approach going to be? You know that you saw, I guess if you were watching from a distance, rather, you saw the guy get out the taxi and walk round, and you would have seen all of this without any sign of Vinzer, obviously. So,
well, I mean, my initial plan was to sort of sneak up there and have a look at what's going on. I think that's gone out of the window at this point.
No, that's cool. You can
need to sneak, but that was what I was going to do. So I think, I mean, if anything, actually no. If anything, I think I'm going to approach the scene a little more tentatively, because now something weird's happened, and as you say, I haven't seen Vinzer, so I don't know.
I mean, this game incorporates flashbacks, so I'm happy for you to do a flashback of you approaching before or as and when all of this is happening. You can do that if you want. Quite happy.
Yeah, well, I think.
What do you think, Sam? I mean, what would you two? Let's do a mini flashback just now. So the two of you are in the car. He's parked up and literally is just, getting himself together and standing up as he's kind of opening the door. At that point, obviously you're just parked far enough away, but what are you doing to kind of?
I mean, I'm all up for sneaking up there, but I'm assuming that all the others that haven't got a clue why I'm doing this, and really I haven't either. I've just got sort of a hunch.
Yeah, you just know this car is important, and it's maybe a bad guy or something like that. That's all you know. You kind of just in terms of your sense.
Look, Sam, I'm going to go up and have a look. Are you going to stay with these guys, or are you going to come with me for backup?
Yeah. So
Charles says, "Hey, I need to go out for a pee. Just give me a few minutes, guys. There's a lovely view up here anyway." So he gets up and walks the opposite direction.
Yeah, you knock yourself out, pal. I say in New York slang.
yeah, if we don't have to worry about Charles and Greg partying it up as we're trying to sneak up, I'm happy to kind of leave them to do what they want to do.
Hey, at the very least, they're a distraction.
Yeah, and I'll kind of follow up behind you, Raj, to, like you said, to just give you some sort of backup.
Okay.
Can I just clarify? I think I got caught up in a story last time where I was under the impression like we knew we were following Vinzer, we knew, but none of that's true, right? We're like we're just following a car based off of Raj.
But Vinzer, you didn't contact him at all during that whole event, sure you didn't?
Nope.
I saw a flash of like a shadow. As a car went by coming the other way, I saw the sort of shadow of the driver in the back window of his car, his dirty back window, and he was wearing a Stetson, like the guy I'd been told to keep a lookout for, and that is purely the reason why I got a hunch that I should follow that car.
Because nobody else in America wears Stetsons at any time. So he just decided to follow this guy. So yeah, there was definitely that connection, as Mick's saying, to do with the actual guy that was spotted on the scene.
Yeah, because it's either the guy we're looking for or it's Yosemite Sam. In which case, I'm getting an autograph. Because he's a very famous actor.
So do you guys want to do some kind of sneak around then? Or what? Do you want to just kind of approach and see what's happening?
I'm up for sneaking, actually.
Okay. So.
Yeah, maybe not an official move, just that we're just being more cautious.
Yeah, we're just sort of we're keeping to the shadows. Mm-hmm. And keeping out of the streetlights as much as possible, just so that we can sort of maybe approach via a bush or something.
Well, there's one or two palm trees and things and shrubs and things up here. So
yeah, I mean we're keeping a distance so that we can just see what's going on.
It is quite in darkness. This place is. There's no street lights up at the top of this rise. There's maybe one occasionally down that little coast road, but you're not particularly in that place just now. Probably the night sky keeps a bit of light, and the glow from the city as well. So yeah, it's easy enough to kind of be walking about. You're behind a tree. It's really dark. You're moving in. You're aware that you're coming to the gravel driveway though, where the car kind of coasted in just at the side of the apartment. And yeah, so it might get noisy, but just as you're at that point, you're in the shadow of the trees and the shrubs at the kind of entryway to the drive. It's just maybe about 20 yards in to where the car is. And that's when you see the guy opens the trunk, stands back, and then suddenly you see, you don't know what you see, to be honest, Raj and Sam. It's like something just flicks across. Because neither of you have seen Vinzer using this power either, that I'm aware of. So
I forgot he had that power. I was surprised.
Yeah. So it's like something passed by, something happened. Was it something flew over? You don't know. But whatever happened, this guy, and he's got long legs, legs were all over the place. He slid and he swore or muttered or something, and he's kind of pulling himself back up like as quick as he can, but he's kind of sliding a little bit in the gravel. Vinzer, what do you want to do to follow this up?
I wanted to take a chance to hop out of the trunk, like pop up and then out of the trunk.
Yep.
When he's while he's falling, and I guess when he hits the ground, by that time I'm probably able to like get my feet on the ground. And what I was going to try and do is, after I've gotten out, if I can take a quick look around and see the shadows cast by the spotlights and stuff like that, I wanted to try and hide in one of the nearest shadows. So I'll make a sprint for it. I'll make whatever I have to do to get to that area that there is a shadow available. But I want to try and get into the shadow as fast as I can and watch to see what he does next. So I'm sure it's going to be a little bit before he ends up, stopping and looking around for me.
Yeah.
Or whatever the hell it is that, hit him. So.
So, why don't we say that you jump out, you kind of leap out of the trunk, as you say, and you're I don't know if you put shoe wear you're wearing, but whatever it is, trainers, whatever, they hit the gravel and you go for it. There's shadows all around the edge of you don't want to go to the right because that's down the slope, going down the hill. To the left and kind of forward is where the apartment is. It's all shadowed kind of behind you. That's the driveway. You've come in with a little light at the very end of the driveway. So you're not far at all, and it's closer to you. He's off to your right, all that shadowed area of the house, and the driveway's to your left. So you reckon you can probably make it there before he gets a chance to get up and...
I might also add there that since I had just called Theo, that maybe after him tackling, he basically points out to me like the closest place for the shadow. Like I can see his eyes merge into the shadows, and that's the first spot that I go to.
Okay, so you're making a beeline for that. I wonder if we can have a wee contest here where you have got the advantage because you're closer there and he's still trying to get himself up, right?
Okay.
But maybe if you're running towards that, he's trying to get himself up. He still doesn't know who you are, but maybe he'll try. He's got long legs, right? Maybe he'll try to run towards you and kind of cut you off before you get to wherever he thinks you're running to,
Okay.
For all he knows, you're some kind of thief, car thief, or something like that, So how about we go toe to toe? All right. So basically, it's you versus him. Remember, you've got 2 juice, which you've just shocked him with, so you can add 1 or 2 points to your dice roll here. So that's really the big advantage that you've got. And tell me what else you want to tag to kind of run and dive into the shadow.
Considering I'm just trying to get to the shadow, I'm probably not going to be able to. I'm probably not going to use. I think it would be too much of a stretch for me to do that. I think rather than manipulating in the shadows, I'm just trying to get to it. Yep. I think I would tag keeps calm under pressure for my smuggler.
Perfect. Yeah. +3 then.
And that is 12.
Fantastic. You book it, you're like the bionic man, and he even as he gets up to his feet, you can see as a tall dude, then he goes to cut you off. He's trying to cut you off before you get to wherever you think he's not even sure if you're going for his house, so he's trying to cut you off, but even then he's slipping in the gravel and he stumbles again and he's absolutely raging. And so guys, you're seeing all this now, okay? Vinzer has just leapt out of a car trunk, right, like a jack in the box, and it's like these two guys who obviously have never met before in their life seem to be having some kind of like aggressive race, right, running across the gravel, and that big guy is kind of sliding and slipping. What do you want to do just now? You want to do anything at all, Sam and Raj?
Well, I find one of the problems is the more sort of vast a superpower is, the more difficult it is to find applications for it.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was something like I could project bolts of lightning out of my fingertips or something, and that was it, then I could just project a bolt of lightning out of my fingertip. But given that I've given myself these sort of vast and nebulously defined powers, it is quite difficult, especially as I've got no conscious control over them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to assume that it just becomes largely instinctual, and I'm not necessarily aware of what I'm intending to do when I do it, but I just sort of know that I've got to stop this guy catching my friend. So, but I'm sort of still sort of my mind is still focused on the fact that we're following the car, so I've still got the car in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So unless Sam is going to use his arrow, which would be more useful.
I mean, remember, sometimes your logos or your natural skills and abilities can be just as effective, you know. But Sam, what about that? Because obviously that's a quick way to deal with things from your perspective.
I think it's funny right now for Sam in that this is all coming as a shock.
Yeah. He's still thinking of Evangeline, guys. He's not in a moment. He's thinking
no, I'm just going to step out of the shadows then, right? If no one else is doing it, I'm going to step out of the shadows from behind the tree and just stride purposely up to him, using my every back alley tag, and with a great big beaming smile on my face, I'm just going to say, "Excuse me, sir. I'm very sorry to bother you, but I'm trying to get to Darwin Street, which I believe is around here, but I can't seem to find it, and there's no signal on my GPS, and I've got I've got two drunk passengers there who are insisting on urinating on everything in sight, and I'm very worried that they're going to vomit in my car, and it's very late at night, and I'd like to get home to my wife and children. Could you possibly tell me where Darwin Street is, please?"
Right, okay, before you do the roll, because I would say this is a convince, so go ahead and you can tag your thing and do the roll just now, but we'll go ahead and do it. But Sam, what are you doing simultaneously is Raj just kind of like, you know, you never know what this guy is going to do ever, right? He's
always surprising me.
Walked right out there, you know, now his beautiful orange turban is right in the spotlight, you know, as he walks down the drive. And do you wear one of these long shirts, or are you kind of just like...
No, I'm just wearing a normal
Western jacket.
Just wearing a normal shirt and some slacks.
Okay.
They're very comfortable for driving slacks. They're you know.
So Sam, maybe you're thinking, right, I'm going to shoot this guy or something.
Stretch gusset action slacks. The Chuck Norris ones that you used to be able to buy on the back of Combat magazine.
I'll take your word for it.
The worst part is I just imagine Raj in yoga pants.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's
me too.
Beige trousers with a nice neat crease in them.
So Sam, what are you?
Pair of driving mocks.
Yeah, I think I'm I was in the mindset of being cautious. I didn't know what I was getting into. Didn't know who we were chasing. Didn't know Vinzer was in the trunk. So I'm kind of like, what are we doing? Why are we? So when all this happens, I figure it's all very quick, and I'm not really thinking like using my power with the arrow to like maliciously try to kill the guy or anything like that. So I'm sort of just taking it all in. I see Vinzer bolt and dash. And then Raj goes into his spiel. I think I'm just gonna still hang out in the background and be like,
are you trying to? Yeah, are you staying out of the way so he can't see you?
I think so, if possible. Just
right. Okay. Okay. Did you roll for your convince, Raj?
I got a total of 9 with my 1 for the tag.
Okay, it says on a 7 to 9, your target chooses either to take a status or on a 7 to 9 to give in a little but protect her own agenda, which to me is perfect for this situation because he's chasing a guy that he's never seen before that has just disappeared into the shadow of the house / driveway. Then a really very random stranger emerges out of the driveway, you know, in your garb and asking directions. And he's like, what? He's dumbfounded, right? He's dumbfounded. He's like, he looks like he's absolutely raging, but now he's just been hit with the same level of that his rages. He's now been hit with this same level of like, what? He looks over here to the shadows. He looks at you. He looks to the shadows, and he just looks at you and goes, "Who are you?"
I'm a taxi driver. I'm trying to find Darwin Street, but my GPS has gone wrong. I've got a car full of drunks. Is it near here or?
He holds his hand up and says, "There's somebody on my property," and he turns round.
That's me, sir. I'm asking you if is everything all right?
He turns around and goes, almost runs, but it's only a few steps away, over to the trunk of the car, and he reaches into the trunk of the car and he pulls out a shotgun.
That was in there the whole time?
Do you remember when you were lying in the trunk and you thought you were lying against like a pipe or a spanner or something like that?
Yeah, yep.
Right. So so I guess you say that from the shadows, Vinzer, your little eyes are like changing shape and you're going, seriously?
This could have gone down so differently.
So the first thing he does is he brings the shotgun out, Raj, and kind of swings it round towards you. And he's like, go back down the hill. It's the second on the right. Get the hell off my property. Right?
Thank you very much.
And then he wasn't intending to shoot you. He's just like, he's pointing this wherever it is he's speaking, you know. And then he points the shotgun towards the shadows, Vinzer, to kind of generally towards your direction, but obviously he can't see you.
He doesn't do the threatening cock of the shotgun?
Yeah, why not?
That's how you know he means business. Just having the shotgun, that's no big deal. But once that's it. It's over.
He shouts over to the shadows, get the hell off my property, you, before I fill your guts full of lead. Quoting a family-friendly comedy film. He's slowly, tentatively walking towards the area where you ran into, but he can't see you. And let me describe the actual property to you for a moment. So you can tell me where you want to be, but so from the gravel pathway, there's a wooden kind of bridge, and you can see the house is on that same level, and there's support struts on the slope, keeping this whole balcony area out. If the circumstances were different, this is probably maybe the best view of the city you think you've ever seen. You're seeing all the lights of the city below you. The stars are out tonight as well, and there's that storm and all that lifted last night, and you're seeing all the lights of the city. You're seeing the movements of the city. This property cost a lot of money, so there's all these kind of support beams holding up almost like the lounge area or the living room, and the balcony at the front of the building like that. And so the path, the wooden path or bridge that goes from the driveway is like onto the entryway. There's a door, like a side door, and there's all that glass frontage overlooking the city. So he is really cautiously, he's heading onto that bridge. It's wooden, like really heavy wooden planks. It's really well done. And he's going across here kind of like starting to kind of, where are you? Who are you? And all that. And he's trying to be as intimidating as he can. But you just can't see who you are.
Keep calm under pressure.
Whereabouts? Sorry, Sam, go ahead.
I'm seeing this happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
You realise he can't see. He's not seeing you either. You're too far back. And the floodlight's too bright for him to see kind of too far down the drive or, where you are.
Ooh, I just had an idea. I'm not sure. I didn't mean to interrupt, really, but tell me if this is possible. Could I use my bow and shoot out the spotlight?
You could do, yeah. Vinzer, let me ask you, where are you kind of positioning yourself in terms of, if it made sense, my description, so the front side of the house where the balcony is and the living room, the glass front, it's a really steep slope, and that's, you kind of see under the house with the support struts. This bridge stroke pathway, wooden pathway, is leading to a front door, and that's where the floodlight's above there. Obviously, when he drives in the driveway, the floodlight triggers and it shows up that whole area. Or is it not relevant where you are?
I don't actually think it is, because my intention was to get out and then assess the situation that I was in from there, because I'm basically coming out of the trunk blind.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's really relevant exactly where I am. I don't necessarily have a plan other than to hide, and if it comes down to it, to try and shadow walk away if I was successful enough. But that would, at the moment, I'm just hiding in that shadow and just watching to see what happens next.
So it is now on the bridge or path. It's kind of off the gravel, so it's from crunch to thunk, thunk, thunk with these big boots. You notice that he's got a kind of little what's that, kind of canvas kind of bag, like a small bag on. He's got that big long coat on. He's got this canvas bag with all the stuff that happened. His Stetson's lying somewhere down in the shadows of the gravel path, but he's not going back for it. He's got a long ponytail at the back of his head. He looks a little bit nervous, even though he's angry, because he has no clue where you've gone, so he's kind of constantly kind of doing this so that if you're going to jump out from somewhere, he's going to let it fly by the looks of it, Sam?
Yeah, I don't want to get full of it either. So, I mean,
yeah,
I just keeping like holding my spot right now.
Cool. How about Raj? Have you kind of just hidden back there, or are you?
Well, I've kind of nipped back round the corner, back to where Sam is, and just thinking, what am I going to do now? And I think I'll possibly even say to Sam, I didn't know what to do. I got around there. I hadn't really thought it through.
This just really felt like three teenage boys for a minute there. You know, I chapped his door, but I didn't know what to do. You know,
I could maybe I could try and turn the gun into something.
Can you do that without getting close?
I don't know. I've never tried. This is all very recent for me. I mean, I might not be able to do it. Maybe I could just make the gun go somewhere, or turn it into something, or like a snake or a baguette, or.
Well, let me see if I can give Vinzer a fighting chance here, and see if I can knock out that spotlight for him, because he might be able to just shadow walk out of there.
That could be a very good idea.
I'll say that at this point he's now pretty much crossed that bridge, so he's now on the kind of balcony area where the door is. Jeff, if you don't mind, do you want to pull a picture up from one of the ones from the last time? Okay. It's number 10. Just to slightly give you a sense of the scene before we destroy the scene with various things. So that's he's at the balcony, and he's not standing with his hands in his pockets, but he's obviously got the shotgun out, and you can see the light on the left-hand side, or the floodlights just up over there. And probably at the moment, although the balcony's lit up, the lights will be out. I'm guessing the lights would be out because he was away. So if you imagine on the left-hand side of where he's standing, there's a door, and that's actually like the main entrance into his apartment. He's standing on the edge of the bridge.
Cool.
Okay. So, Sam.
So I think I'm going to change the game because it gives my ally an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Roll plus power. I'm going to try to tag it with accuracy to try and hit the spotlight.
Go ahead.
Oh boy. That's only going to be a 5, so I miss.
Not even a moving target either.
I know.
The arrow goes straight, hits me in the shadows.
What a great idea, Chris. Well, we'll just say you kind of hear the whistle stroke sizzle of the green arrow. Is it green, the arrow? Is that a kind of
Sure,
green?
Let's go with green today.
Okay. As the arrow flies by, it starts off green, and then it looks a kind of confused pink as it misses its target, and kind of just goes, you know, like a semi-dud firework.
Misfired bottle rocket.
And the guy, I mean, people can see that, can't they, when you're actually shooting the thing? Or are they invisible to people? I can't remember what you said about that.
I think the way I was imagining it, unless they are attuned to the mist, they don't know quite what's happening. Like the same way that you wouldn't see a bullet, that's kind of how it would be for them. They wouldn't necessarily see the arrow itself.
Okay, so you see him standing and he goes, "What was that? Who are you?" Right? And so he backs right against the wall, and you see his hand goes up, and he's kind of feeling for a moment on the kind of concrete of the wall, and there's a lever there, and he pulls on a lever. And at that point, you hear some kind of mechanical something shift, and the bridge goes like that. So there's now a gap, which if you were to get to where he's standing on the edge of the balcony, you would need to leap over, basically, over that gap, because that's right down onto the slope. So, and then he turns round and starts, you hear keys going, and he's trying to get into the house.
Cool.
Okay, so he opens the door and gets in and slams the door. And you see him immediately, you see him running. You can see into the balcony now, a light goes on. You can see him running round and he's running into another part of the house.
Where's Vinzer? Outside, right?
Yeah.
He's hidden.
I'm just going to yell, run, Vinzer.
Vinzer, are you still here? Where are you? Did you go home?
I think that's what we're trying to figure out, isn't it? Because given his power,
Yeah.
we're constantly trying to figure out whether he's there or not.
Yeah. I think so.
We're always losing him.
Maybe you see the little eyes. Do they see your little eyes somewhere blinking?
They could because since they're is the term awakened? I can't remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Since they're awakened, then they would see, because they see me as that anyway, right? That's why they see me as the black silhouette.
Yeah.
So I think if they were close enough, they would absolutely see the white eyes just kind of like little looking real quick to see if peeking to see if there's anyone there.
It's kind of like you imagine a cartoon sound, you know? Bing, bing, bling, bling.
Yeah.
I'm now imagining that noise that Inch High Private Eye makes when his compact thing opens. For some reason. I don't know why.
I can't even remember it. Yeah. I think that was a good one, but I can't remember it very well.
It's just that noise just popped into my head when you said that. So, sorry, I just
no, it's fine. So
randomly blurted that out in the middle of it. Sorry, I've interrupted the flow. I do apologize.
No, not at all. It's fine. So, guys, what you want to do? You can hear him moving about the house, like he's like at speed. You know, he's running about doing something in the house or getting to somewhere in the house. You don't know what he's up to, unless
bigger gun. That's what he's getting. That's what I'd be doing.
Just then, the roof opens up and this huge missile launcher comes out and points to it.
Right, I'm turning that into a goat.
Yeah, that was a joke. That wasn't actually. That didn't really happen.
I'm gonna do that and make my neck click. Go, right.
Watch me work.
I was just
actually, next time we play this, I'm going to have a character, and that's going to be his power is that he can just like click his neck and intimidate people with it, like that guy in Doom Patrol. What's his name? Flex Mentallo, who can alter the fabric of reality by sort of just flexing specific muscle groups. So he just goes like that, and a tree bends down.
That's fantastic.
You could always adopt that if you want for Raj. It's fine. You know. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just style. You know, it's still using a power. So.
Suddenly, Raj is completely ripped. His shirt is just torn open.
Just wearing like a turban.
Still keep the turban.
And a turban and a pair of leopard skin briefs. And just going.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Hey, I could do that if I were. I could warp reality. I could do that.
Of course you could. And you could curl your moustache up so that it looks impressively, you know. Okay, so if you want to do that, you can go ahead and change the game, change yourself, you know, change your appearance, whatever. Guys, what do you want to do from here? You want to what?
Well, I think I would. I think I want to phone
Lawrence.
That's what I think I want to do. Because then it's someone else's problem, isn't it? The main thing at the moment is getting out of here with Vince. Oh, I don't know. I mean, but we are kind of, you know, I don't really want to use the word, but we are kind of superheroes, aren't we? I mean,
and the superheroes phoned the police, and the police came and caught the criminal.
Shouldn't we?
We playing too cautious.
Well, we could deal with this, couldn't we?
I think, Sam, you're seeing Raj probably having a bit of a dilemma because, you know, he's not a kind of violent guy by nature and things, you know, but he's also trying to come to terms with all this crazy power, you know, and, you know, you could certainly phone the team down in the city if you want, you know, you could do that. But here you are up on the hill with this guy. You have the ability to create a bowl out of thin air. He can do all sorts of really wacky and strange things, you know, that you've certainly never seen anybody else do before.
Mm-hmm.
And Vinzer is like a ninja, you know. And you've just seen something like an animal, you know, manifest out of the darkness, and you know it's Vinzer. It's something to do with his power, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
Should we, Sam? Should we do it? I mean, we could.
I think if you asked me the same question with a slightly different tone in your voice, like maybe a little bit more confidence, I would be like, "Let's go."
Okay, I'll ask you in my I'll ask you in my Shakespearean actor voice then. Whoa, Sam, shall we go? Let us take this rapscallion on. We shall take him to task and cast his bones to the wind. Was I all right? Was I all right there, loves? Was that all right, Ducky? I'm not sure they heard me at the back.
Sam, you might have just come to the conclusion that maybe Raj's kind of power stuff is maybe a bit bipolar or something. You know?
Yeah, I think I'll take that as motivation and be like, yeah, let's see what's going on with this guy. Let's show him what we can do here.
While you're having this conversation, right? And
they're hiding behind the bushes. Let's get this guy.
I want to take you back to episode 1, where you were all going to hide in the room upstairs of the bar while the gangsters were driving about the streets. But anyway, there seems to be a theme coming through here. We're going to call you guys the scaredy cats, right?
Well, look, it's all well and good. You suddenly deciding that, you know, or fate or whatever you are, suddenly deciding that we've got all these powers. But, I mean, this is all new to us. We don't know what the limitations of this are, or if there are any limitations. We don't know what the comeback is. I use my powers, right? Some old lady in Paraguay could break her ankle as a result of me doing this. I don't know, do I? There might be a cost. These things don't come for free. You know?
Cost and effect.
Mm.
Not only that, but I'm coming off the extreme failure of missing a spotlight on the side of a wall.
A non-moving target.
I just mentioned there that my original idea for my power was going to be someone who could manipulate, who could consciously manipulate chaos theory. So he'd like sort of move a can of drink on a table, and he'd constantly be doing all these weird obsessive compulsive things and pinning things to himself. and stuff. And then exactly when he needed it, like, a police baton would just fall out of a window into his hand. Just smack someone right the head with it. 2 weeks later.
Get some party modelling balloons and a Tommy gun. One of them.
I think, our identity for the gang is we've got your back, but I think it's starting to feel more like somebody should do something about that.
Yeah. We've got your back, but really someone should be in front.
That's quite a British kind of thing, isn't it? Somebody should do something about this. So.
Yeah, the British thing is just sort of standing them. Well, really, the British thing is just sort of watching the way that everyone else is running, and then running to the front and going, "Follow me." That's the real thing.
We just lost our entire British audience.
So
good.
I'll tell you, as you guys are having a kind of mix of a discussion, identity crisis, and confidence boosting session, you hear an electrical hum, and as that happens, something else kicks in just around the top of the house, and then these shutters slowly begin to come down.
It actually is a missile launcher.
And the shutters, they're not like solid, but they're a roller shutter. It's a security shutter, and they've got spaces so you can still actually see out of them. But that's coming down right over the windows right now. It's slowly doing it.
My question for you, Ken.
Yeah.
Moving through these shadows and stuff, if I'm able to see a shadow even through a window before these shutters close,
yes,
am I able to go through to that, or am I still blocked by like the physical wall and window?
Well, two things about that. First of all, I thought your question was going to be, are we ever going to finish this scenario? And
That's
secondly, can you? You can always try. Certainly, let's say that you've never done that before, okay?
Yeah.
So certainly, when you've travelled around the city on a regular basis, you don't always travel like in the same shadow all the way down the street. Sometimes you kind of hop across the street, or at least that was the way I understood it. You kind of
Yep.
hop. Yeah. So you can certainly kind of teleport. It's not exactly that, but you're now looking at, can I go through a solid object here?
I don't actually think I can, because the way I had described it in the past was basically that I can see like the faint outlines of objects and stuff like that, and that gives me the opportunity to be able to kind of see like the openings in the shadows and doorways and stuff like that, to be able to get out into the normal world again.
It strikes you when the lights went on, and that. So we'll say from whatever vantage point you can see at least partially before the shutter comes down. It's only like about a third of the way down. The lamp went on. There is, for example, shadow being cast through the window.
That's what I mean. Like if the shadow's cast through the window. Okay.
You could stop holding back and take your powers to a new, never before seen way or scale. Tell the MC what you hope to achieve, and the MC will tell you the sacrifice it will take from you. Then roll plus logos. So what that means is how many ever natural themes you have, logos themes, you count them up as just the theme. So if you've got 2, it's 2. If you've got 3 themes, it's 3. You roll plus logos. On a hit, you achieve exactly what you wanted to achieve and pay the price.
I was looking at Stop Holding Back a little bit ago, but I was thinking of something entirely different, and not just for this. It was like something outlandish.
Okay. I did notice on the ultimate 79, you're killed, destroyed, or transformed forever. So maybe that's not so good.
Oh, by the way.
But logically, if the shadow is actually going through the window, then it could be a doorway through the object. If that was a brick wall, then the shadow wouldn't pass through it, right? It wouldn't be going. The shadow wouldn't be going through a brick wall.
Yeah.
But in the glass, the shadow's going through, although maybe slightly distorted through the glass, but it's certainly going through the glass.
I'll remind you too. I think it was episode 1 or 2. You transported yourself up to a roof.
Yeah, no, that was like going from down, down off the street level up to a rooftop. It wasn't necessarily me going through the building or anything like that, but it was more like I can see the shadow of, like, some buildings, they have like the the roof access doors, and it's usually like a small built up section that has the staircase going in, like a shadow being projected onto that I was able to cast up on.
Basically, what you're saying is he's scared, Sam.
All right, look, you want me?
Always try it, and then you end up like smashing against a glass wall, and then just.
You want to know what I was going to be doing? What I was thinking of for my stop holding back before? I was going to use stop holding back to try and bring about the shadow puppetry, to use the shadows to lift his car and fling it into the building and smash through one of the windows to be able to get an entrance. That's what I was looking for.
They're about 40%, 45% down now, the shutters.
Yeah, might as well.
Do it.
Might as well. We'll do that.
Which one? Car?
The car. I'm going to do the car thing.
Whoa.
Yep. Because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make it inside it like that normally, so I'm going to take that chance and try and just go all out. Because I've been manipulating small things in the past, but nothing as big as moving a car.
Oh, he's got the book out.
I'm looking at our crew themes.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Anything that can help.
True friendship, lend a hand, or things come our way. Maybe that would apply.
Things come our way. What one?
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, it's a little bit of a stretch, but maybe, things come our way is just a little bit of luck that you would need to pull off something that's massive.
Yeah, well, the car's certainly sitting there.
Don't forget too, Ken, I think you can burn a tag, and that creates an automatic success.
Yeah, which means you won't be able to use that power for a period of time.
Mm-hmm. Just wondering.
A period of time?
Yeah.
Usually until like downtime, like once you get out of your situation.
And in our case, that's probably about 7 sessions, because I don't think we've had a downtime. We've had one downtime at the bar, Sam's bar. Yeah. So you can do that if you want to burn, the use of that tag for until you have a downtime.
Yeah.
Stop holding back.
Stop holding back. And
you have 2 mythos?
No, it's Logos. You count.
Yeah, I have 2 mythos. I have an expression and an adaptation one. And then I have 2 logos also.
Yeah, so what you have to do is you roll, add your Logos, amount of Logos tags that you've got.
Oh, the logo. Oh,
see, what you're doing is you're stretching your powers, and in this case, you're adding your Logos because it's like contrary to your human self.
I get it now.
You really need to ideally, you roll a 10, okay, and then you don't suffer. But I'm just actually looking this up because it's given. It says here, for example, significant, no return, ultimate.
So I think you, as the MC, determine the level of danger.
Yeah.
As significant, no return, or ultimate. And then I guess, Chris, you as the player then decide whether or not it's worth it to,
Yeah.
to even attempt it. Like if this is going to kill you, maybe not. If it's significant at the least, or possibly no return, like what would no return be?
So it says here, in terms of the move, it says, describe to everyone at the table how your powers are unleashed and how you use them. The specifics of your power tags no longer matter. Okay, that's why we're not tagging your actual powers. You are able to, you're able to pull off anything, as long as it's reasonably related to your mythos. Don't hold back when you think about the effect you want to achieve with the move. So basically, you're just going for it. The MC will have to work around whatever you come up with and decide what's appropriate level of sacrifice. You could, for example, banish an invading horde of demons, turn back time, melt down an entire central train station, blah, blah, blah. You should, however, consider both your character's wishes, what your character wishes to achieve, and what would be interesting for the series as a whole. For example, defeating the arch-villain and banishing his demons forever as the ultimate display of power, but it's not. It may be a great combination, but an annoying anticlimax, So significant, your character will burn all tags in a theme, which is temporary, and mark fade or crack. At the very least, she will mark fade or crack. No return, your character will probably replace a theme, which is permanent. That's ouch. At the very least, they'll burn tags, and ultimate, your character will probably die or be transformed. So that means, for example, if you do some crazy exhibition of power, you then kind of change who you are. You lose a little bit of your humanity, really. That's what that's trying to describe. So you're gonna. So remind me, because I was kind of looking up stuff at the same time. So you're going to use the shadows to pick the car up and launch it at the window. Is that what you're saying?
Mm.
Okay. So the price. Let me tell you the price. Just below this apartment, you may remember a picture where there was like apartment blocks below. If you launch the car here and you're not successful, okay, then the car has a chance of bouncing off and going down the slope. And you know that ultimately down the slope is those apartments, and the car could end up rolling down there towards those apartments. At the least, if you launch the car there, then thanks. If you launch the car there, you'll obviously seriously damage the property and wreck the car, which is an old classic car. So that could break somebody's heart somewhere, Okay, so go ahead if you want to go for it.
You got me second guessing myself. Either just destroy a car or possibly kill some innocent person.
Have you got any juice left, or did you use that?
You had me roll +3 the last time, so I'm pretty sure you added the 2 juice into that one.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, because I think I only came up with 1 power tag.
How many logos have you got? Is it 2 or 3?
I have 2.
Okay. It's up to you, boy.
Raj, is there anything you can do to quote change the game to assist him?
Yeah, you can give away juice with change the game.
Well, are we trying to get into the house?
Yeah.
Couldn't I just make a door?
You can make like a little hobbit-sized door, like a little round one.
Have you seen the Angel Summoner and BMX Bandit sketches? Well, there are two superheroes, and one of them is BMX Bandit, who can do all these tricks on his bike, and he says things like, "Oh, right, I'm going to pop a wheelie, and then while my wheel's spinning, I'm going to use it to knock the guns out of the terrorists' hands. Then I'm going to do an endo, and I'm going to knock over the lead terrorist and do this." And he goes out through this. He details this incredibly detailed attack plan, and the other guy, Angel Summoner, just says, "Or I could summon a horde of angels to do it." I was going, "Oh well, yeah, all right. I suppose so."
Here's an interesting coincidence. You know, Raj has a history of teleporting his taxi unconsciously to the rooftop, right? So maybe if you see what Vinzer's intent is, Raj, you could, once he launches it at the house, you could teleport it.
Well, I was just wondering if I could try and just make a door in the side of the house. If I just think really hard of a door in the side of the house, and can I try that and see if it works first?
Yeah, okay. Change again.
You know, yeah. I'll just
so we'll say while all this kind of thinking and concentrating and wondering, should I just go crazy here on, say, Vinzer's bit part? Meanwhile, Raj is just off in a wee, another little trip of his.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna use reality warping.
Yeah.
I'm also going to tag it with the no conscious control weakness, and because I can't teleport us in to the house because I've never been in that house.
Yeah, that could get messy. You could all turn into some kind of creature.
It could all just be some sort of 6-armed thing.
Yeah.
Right, in agony for
the rest of the adventure. Yeah,
that would be rubbish. That wouldn't be very good. Imagine what would happen when we.
Well, Vinzer could levitate a car on top of you and kill you, squash you. Deal with it.
There is that. Okay, so I've got 2 tags: no conscious control and reality warping. And I am going to try and manifest a door in the
wall.
In the wall. So I'll think of it really hard.
He thinks
5 and 6, 11, 13. That really took it out of me. Oh.
So, Vinzer, as you're mustering your powers, and the darkness is starting to form under the car, you see 2 doors
swirling all around, and I'm like getting ready to start pulling up the car, and then all of a sudden
you're starting to break a sweat, and the shutter's down to like 50%, 55% by now. Then 2 doors suddenly appear, one large and one small, like one adult size and one child size, just like something out of Shutterstock Images.
I didn't mean to make 2. Oh. Now, look, I've made a door. I can't necessarily guarantee that it goes into the building behind it.
Just then, that door, some of the door breaks and shatters out the way as you hear the explosion of a shotgun.
I think he noticed the door.
Followed by the shotgun. The shotgun itself literally flies through the door.
Did one of us do that?
Did you do that?
I don't think I did that. Did you do that?
Who's the little door for? Are you trying to say I'm small?
No, that's for that's for my friend Prem here. Can't you see him?
So let me describe these doors, right? The adult door, or full size door, the top half of it is blown out and a shotgun's just come flying through it. So you've basically got half a door with a big space at the top and then a tiny door that you could crawl through if you want.
Well, I'm going to very tentatively approach the big door. And
Well, you've got one problem. There's a bridge you need to jump across.
A bridge? Oh, yes, right, yes.
I can do that.
There's a huge Balrog standing there. No, there's not. Forget that.
I don't know, Sam. Can you do that?
I can do that. I get that.
Oh, come on. We've not seen any of your parkour thing yet. Come on.
Parkour. What am I going to do when I get there, though? He doesn't have his gun, so.
Shoot him with your arrow.
Vinzer, you have a little mini flash in your head. When you surprised the life out of that guy, you noticed that when he fell to the ground, his eyes were kind of like glowing blue. But Sam doesn't know that. But I'm just telling you because you just happened to notice it in the darkness. It was like when he fell back and into the shade, it was like you saw the kind of little blue glow in his eyes. Sam, are you doing a run?
Yeah, let's go. Let's charge Leroy Jenkins it.
The scaredy cats attack. Go for it.
Somebody should do something about that, and that somebody is me.
I'm going to tag all three: parkour, agility, and brawl.
Is Raj banging his head against the concrete or what? All right, sorry. I thought he'd lost it completely.
Here we go. Well, luckily with those tags, I'm at an 8. So.
All right, that's a decent pass. So, what was the move?
I guess what is the move? I guess I'm doing a hit with all you got because I'm attacking. Hit someone or something with all you got.
So you're really just doing a move over the bridge, is that right? And are you going into the door? Is this all part of the same move?
Yeah, I'm kind of tagging it all together. Jumping the bridge.
Right.
Either rolling, jumping through the hole in the door, maybe.
So you tell us what it looks like, right? Yeah. There's a banister at least on one side of the bridge, so you can use that to get momentum or whatever. So how do you do this really athletic piece of ballet?
Yep. So it's very, very graceful, running up the stairs, zigzagging across, bouncing off of that railing, then giving myself a little more push on the other railing, leaping over the gap, hitting the other side, doing a quick tumble, and then leaping up through the hole in the door into his front living room there where he's standing.
When you run in there, you hit like a sofa or a settee, whatever you guys call it, right? So the back of a settee or sofa. And so you just use that. You kind of, when you come in the door, you use that, put the hands on, go into a roll because you're also cushioned as you roll down into the space in the middle to get your bearings. And there's nobody here. Not in this room. In this room, it's a large lounge. There's a slight corridor on your right-hand side and an open plan kind of kitchen area. On the left, maybe a bathroom / bedroom, and on the right, maybe another bedroom or something like that.
Okay.
There's no noise.
I'll yell out, "It's clear, guys. Come on in."
Are you sure?
This is like a comedy program.
I'll open the broken door.
Do you not open the small one? That would be funny. That would be funnier.
I feel like you would open that half door, the remaining part, and as soon as you like swung it open, eventually it just and like falls off the hinge.
I had this vision that if I'd failed the roll, you were going to say that I'd summoned a door that was like that big. Just open it and look through it and just go, I see you. But if I can see the inside, I could teleport in, so that would still work. Okay, well, I'm gonna when he says it's all clear, I'm gonna take a running jump, and I'm gonna sort of land on the other side of the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Just sort of my upper body lands on the other side of the bridge, and I just scrabble like that, and sort of get my feet up.
And Vinzer, we just say you follow behind, no problem, okay? Because you can always just shadow walk if you wanted. Okay, so
teleported.
So you guys are in this nice big kind of open plan living room. There's a few yards down. There's a kitchen open area looking onto the side of the house and the back of the house. Looks like there's a couple of bedrooms and a bathroom somewhere. It's dead quiet.
What do we do now?
Phone the police. There's been a break-in.
Vinzer's just gotten inside and he's like, what are you guys doing here?
Well, I saw the car. It's a long story. I'll tell you later.
Watch episode 7.
We came to rescue you.
I mean, who said I needed rescuing?
I hope Charles and his friend are all right out there.
Asleep in the back seat of the cab.
Yeah, I don't think they've even noticed we've gone.
We don't hear anything? No noises at all?
No noise at all.
Why did the shotgun get tossed out?
Maybe he's got a bigger gun. Mind you, it's quite a swanky place. I think he's probably got a panic room.
Is his bag laying around anywhere? With the shoulder? Because he had a computer, I think, or something like a PDA or something.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Is that laying around by any chance?
Well, do you just wander around the rooms that you can see at this point? So, yeah. So you can go back into the kitchen, nice big kitchen area. Nothing of particular interest. There's another room off where the kitchen is, so there's actually like 3 rooms plus a bathroom. It's all pretty, this is an expensive apartment. The guy's obviously made a fair bit of money doing whatever it is he does. Do you want to go into other rooms? Or do you want to make extra doors in case you need an exit?
No, I'll just go in the conventional way. There's no need to be excessive.
You notice, Sam, when
I've got no one to impress.
You notice, Sam, when you opened that half of a door, that on the inside of the door it said Shutterstock up the side of it, like the brand.
It's kind of like Home Depot.
It came out of his imagination. So yeah, are you going into any of the rooms that are closed?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, so what do? Do you kick the door in? Do you open it slowly?
First door I come to on the left, trying the doorknob, seeing if it's open. And if it's open, I'm just going to open it, shove it open, and get ready to draw my bow.
It's like an office. And there's a 29-inch screen and quite a fancy computer sitting there. Some notes at the side, bits and pieces and stuff lying about, and you see the bag lying in there. It's obviously just been thrown in.
All right.
There's pictures up on the wall and stuff like that.
I'll grab the bag and just throw it over my shoulder for right now.
Okay. Anyone else want to check one of the other rooms? Basically got a room each and a bathroom if you need a toilet.
I'll do the first one on the right then.
Okay, that's a bedroom. not much in it. A couple of posters up of rock bands, and yeah, just a nice bedroom with a big king size bed in it.
Are there any closets?
Yeah.
There's
some clothes in them.
That doesn't look like there's any secret doors in the back of the closets or anything like that.
No, the wardrobe seems pretty basic. He's obviously doesn't wear a huge variety of clothes. There's some shirts, a lot of jeans, and a couple of ties hanging up, a couple of jumpers. But yeah, that looks kind of pretty samey. A few t-shirts, a few band t-shirts, like rock bands and stuff.
Okay. I wonder if he can teleport as well.
One more room left, Vinzer?
Yep. Go ahead and take a look around.
You open the door and there's a huge 8-foot demon. No, there's not. You open the door and it's like a second bedroom. Nice view out the side, looking over the top. Not much in it. It looks like it's an extra bedroom. It's not really got a lot of personal stuff in it. He's got a fair few pictures up in the walls generally throughout the house, including the lounge. And the big lounge area looks like it's designed, the main room that you came in looks like it's pretty much designed to look out over the city. And then he's kind of got a secondary bit at the back where it's like a separate little sitting area, like away from the front. And there's some pictures and things up in the wall there as well. So it's almost like a wee personal space bit and your lounge area looking out to the city. The bedroom, there's pictures and some papers lying in the office and stuff if you want to snip about. You don't know where he is.
From the bedroom when I went in there was no sign of seeing him like coming even through there? Or does it just look generally lived in?
The second one, no, it looks like it's he doesn't use it much. Yeah, it looks like the house is maybe too big for him in the sense of it's an extra room.
Where is he, guys?
There's a faint smell as you're walking about in the house. Smells like ozone.
Maybe he's got powers too.
I don't think I've seen it before, but in the middle of all that, I'm pretty sure I saw his eyes were not like a normal person's eyes. Like I didn't notice anything else about him, but that like seemed like a glowing blue color around his eyes.
Is there any mail?
Yeah, there's some lying near one of the many doors.
I'm just gonna pick up a bit of mail, just purely like anything really junk mail or anything, just as something that's got the address on it.
Yeah, so it's got the address. You see there's a couple of letters to the owner at the address. And there's two or three like new letters, he's not opened them yet, to a Daniel Kane. Cain, Daniel Kane.
Okay.
One of the letters says Prof. Daniel Kane. There's enough of the other letters which have just kind of been ditched at the side. You know, the like to the owner and the occupier. You think maybe he's not been here that long? Like as if he's getting mail from, you know, a previous owner or the house being empty or something like that.
Sorry, so Professor Daniel Kane, is that the previous owner? Are we saying two different names then?
No, it's, 3 letters to a Daniel Kane, one letter to Prof. Daniel Kane.
But this guy we were told was called Leroy Kane. Mm.
So shall I just tell you the things that you find? I take it you're going to have a kind of fairly decent look around.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
If it seems safe, yeah, I think so.
So, I mean, obviously, it seems like he's not here. In answer to Mick's question, I think, about a safe room, you found a hatch that was, once you kind of rechecked the house, just at the side of, in the kitchen area, there's a kind of hatch in the floor. You lift it up, and there's a little kind of plank kind of basic steps down to a door, a really sturdy kind of triple lock bolted door, which is actually down under the house on the slope, but it's all locked and bolted. So there is actually an extra escape route, but it doesn't look like it's been opened. So let me tell you what you find as you wander around. In the bedroom is pretty basic stuff. You see, you know, one or two family kind of pics in the bedroom, like, you know, mom and dad kind of thing, and him when he's younger. There's a picture of him when he got his master's degree or something like that. There in the office. The bag, you've already got the bag, Sam. Let me just see my notes. So there's another picture in there on the wall with him with what looks like maybe his parents. There's also some pictures on the desk, like in little frames, and one says students of 2017. And when you look carefully, you see him, because he's you know, his stature and that is quite kind of obvious to see. Just obviously, you know, a couple of years or so ago, he's standing there, and a whole bunch of students. There's another photograph similar to that, and it's a bunch of young students, but you know, not like maybe first year students, maybe some older students, and lounging about in comfy seats somewhere. It's not in this house. And it says the Philosophy Boys across it. And somebody has written, as if it's a message to him, saying, "Teach us something new, Leroy!" Exclamation mark, smiley face. And then you see in the office as well, there's a poster up in the wall, just behind where the computer screen is. And it says, a special event, the Philosophy Club, hosted by Prof. Daniel Kane. And it's got some guest speaker that's coming to speak at the Philosophy Club in 3 weeks' time. There's not a huge amount else.
Anything of note in his satchel or in the PDF?
There's a tablet, so the tablet's in there. You get a tablet out. It's not one of the usual brands. And in very small print down at the bottom, it says Particle Core. And it's a very quite a robust tablet. And you put it on, and as soon as you go to put it on, you press the button, it's asking for fingerprint ID.
Sorry, Particle what? Tour?
Core.
And that's the name of the brand?
You guess so. Yeah, you've never heard of it. It's quite a kind of thick tablet. It's kind of robust, you know.
Kind of like one of those military.
Almost. I wouldn't say it was military, but it was certainly. It's not, you know, it's not the cool. We're all trying to get as slim as possible so that our tablets look cool. It's designed to be not broken.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's looking for ID on it. The computer's there as well if you want to have a go.
Yeah. Vinzer, you know the is it Overdrive?
The what? I'm sorry.
Do you know? Didn't we have an encounter at some point in the bar with Overdrive taking over our television?
Override, yeah.
Override, yeah.
Override.
He had the he gave us the message.
Does your character know him?
I don't think we established that.
Okay.
Because all we got was the message, right? Like, it wasn't like it wasn't a direct communication between the two of us, right? It was just a message that he left us.
Yeah.
Just as you kind of throw the bag down, you know, when you're looking at the tablet, Sam, a wee bit of paper kind of falls out the bag, like a kind of post-it note size, you know, or a little bit bigger. And it says at the top, new clients, handwritten, Melissa Romanov, Nancy Salmond, and Ricky Chow. And then it's got their ages, it's got their health, and a wee column saying very good, like V good, V good, V good. It's got addresses on it. But it's kind of crumpled up as if he was disposing of it or used it.
Okay, I'll grab that and tell everybody and then just put it in my pocket for later, I guess. Is anybody good at computers?
No, I can barely work my GPS in my taxi.
Vinzer has a smartphone. That's about as far as he goes.
Do you know anybody that's good at computers?
I'm assuming this override character, but I would say I could maybe find somebody, but it would take me a little bit of time. I could find someone with underworld connections, but that would take some time to go back to.
Mm-hmm. So when you put the computer on,
yeah,
it's just like a home screen. Doesn't seem to be a password on it.
No password.
Raj, why don't you go for a walk and just wander around and give me a dice roll for investigate?
Okay. I'll just
in case you happen to bump into anything of interest. As you do.
I got a 6.
Yeah, you fell over.
But hang on,
fell over the sofa.
I get a 6, but I get my synchronicity, so it'll be a 7.
Come back to that in a minute. So, yeah, you get on the computer. It's got different, not many files. You know, it obviously doesn't lead a very complicated life. There's one file that says college. There's one file that says exam papers. There's another one that says the philosophy club. And there's one that says personal finances. And there's one that says music. One or two other kind of stuff, but that's...
Mm-hmm. Is there anything nearby that I could make a copy of this?
Yeah, he's got a printer there. Yeah. You see on the desk, I forgot to mention this, on the desk there's actually a pile, 2 piles of probably about 25 to 30 papers, and it's essays that have been written at the college in the city.
So this guy's a teacher? Raj, did you run into this guy before? Why do I feel like you had kind of an in-depth chat when we went up to that college with somebody?
Oh, no, that was with a guy who said he was a detective.
Right, okay.
The papers are chemistry. So they're a chemistry essay or exam. It looks like the first pile as he started marking them, and the second pile he's not finished yet. But it's clear from the poster that he's involved with the Philosophy Club as well.
If I open that, is there anything else of note?
The papers or the computer?
The Philosophy Club in the computer.
There's all sorts of events they're having on. They seem to, the discussions, they're quite into kind of existential and cosmic kind of questions and things like that. So they talk about the reality of worlds, and one essay is titled The Reality of Worlds, and it's some chat that they had. And there's a whole bunch of photographs that looks like they have a right carry on at the Philosophy Club, enjoy a good drink and maybe a smoke.
So what if this guy is the drug chemist then? What if we have our own Mr. Heisenberg?
Something's ringing a bell with one of you about the Philosophy Club. We'll say, seeing as you're on it, Sam, that you remember there was some story in the paper about some guy getting his face bitten off, and he was a really nice guy. I think it might have even been the girl that told Raj, I can't remember, at the square, but he was a nice guy. He was part of the Philosophy Club.
Okay.
So there's something from one of the stories to do with the attack, or around about that, or in the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
Way back, episode 1, I think. Way back, like 4 days ago, so long ago,
Yeah.
can't remember it.
All right.
So yeah, it looks like he's a chemistry teacher. So while that stuff's going on, do you want to play with your shadow dog? Have it jumping about the furniture and that, Vinzer?
No, I think maybe instead of playing on the furniture, I think maybe call on it to try and sniff out the guy and see if he can detect him anywhere or a trace of him.
Can shadow dogs do that?
I don't know. Can they?
I don't know, can they?
Let's find out.
Let's find out. I'll just repeat everything you say.
I guess it would be investigate, right?
Yeah. Or sneak around. I know it's investigate. He's looking for something.
Shadow Hound and so I'm looking at 1 power tag.
Go for it.
Fell off. With a 7.
Okay, you see, 2 things are happening simultaneously, right? So Raj, you've just been wandering around, and you're just standing thinking, where is this guy going? Obviously he could have powers. And you find yourself just standing in front of a particular, there's like a chair, there's a comfy chair. You've got a comfy chair in your house, right? Whatever the comfy chair is, there's a comfy chair. And it's not, there is a big screen TV elsewhere, but there's no TV here, but there's a comfy chair, Raj, and you just decide to sit in it, and you realise as you're sitting in it that it's actually not really it's not even looking out the window, it's looking at the side wall. There's a picture on the wall and a little light above the picture, as if it's his thoughtful place or somewhere to sit. And you feel like you might be mistaken, but you can smell like fresh air or like coastal air, when you're sitting in this chair and you're looking at this picture and you have a look. And about the same time, the shadow dog is kind of like runs up to where Raj is and is kind of making its shadow barks. You know, it's getting excited. It looks like it's sniffing, but you don't know. You think it's Raj it's sniffing. And just then, as you look over, Raj is gone. And with that, we'll end the episode. And the credits. Everything goes black in the world of Raj, and the credits roll. Until next time. So thanks, folks, for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been quite a comical episode, I think. And remember, press that bell icon if you want news of the next episodes coming out for the various games we're playing. We're hoping to play a kind of short game of a horror game called The Shivering Circle soon as well, so keep your eye out for that. See you next time.